All right. All right. Peace in the wilderness with a higher. Peace in the wilderness with a higher. I come to you this evening with a very power punch message. And it is we can't win the battle. We can't win the battle, you guys. The battle is not for us to even fight, let alone win. I got an awesome question for the Most High Yah. And hopefully, ain't no hopefully, I know He would deliver the answer. I spoke to you all earlier today in a video. The bombshell that was dropped on me. And it opened every door that is locked. Every door that is locked. Hmm. Now that the door is wide open, I still got that's just one question for the Most High Yah. And you know He already know where it's at, don't you? Yes, He do. He already know my thoughts before I even thought it. So I know that only one can answer it is the Most High Yah, and I am and I will seek Him to answer that which He don't have to answer because He don't owe me nothing. Okay. Oh, you guys, this is a battle we can't win. Not the battle, y'all. Mm. We can't win. Hello in the live chat. It's good to see you. We can't win, y'all. And now knowing today that we never could. That's why the battle is not in flesh and blood. Because it's a battle that we ourselves cannot win. That means we've been battling situations that we cannot even win. It ain't that I want to win. But it leads me to understand there's no victory in it, you guys. There's no victory in the battle that's in the flesh. And when I said the battle that's in the flesh, the things we're trying to defeat that's coming from the standpoint of the flesh, there's no winning. It brings you right back to where He says, you fight, Deborah, not against flesh and blood, even though that's all you're going up against on the earth. I understand you're going up against flesh and blood, but that's not the fight. So if that's not the fight in flesh and blood, then this is the reason why the battle cannot be won. We think this is a battle of flesh and blood. And I mean in any situation, even in this being in our land of our captive, being on our workplace, fighting the system that comes to kill, steal, and destroy us in many shape, forms, and fashion, taking from us what we have earned, taking from us what we have worked for. Everything in the, you know what? Okay, Solemn, I get you, Solemn. I understand, Solemn. I get you. Solemn is saying, that's Deborah. That's why I said there's nothing new under the sun. Once I realized that there wasn't nothing outside of vain and vast, I warn you all. And Deborah, take a hold of that. Yeah, I got that part too, because that's a big support. No one never knew how Solemn kind of switched over from one end to the other. Because Solemn come to understand what Sister Deborah fully understand today that she didn't understand yesterday. Is that there's battles in the front door of your house, the back door of your house, every window, everywhere you go, there's a battle. It's just in the spirit. And while it's in the spirit of Yah is defeating it off of you. But it's not a battle that you yourself can win. You know how some people say, when use the sword or use the word. You can't. You can't battle the flesh. You can't get victory out of anything when it comes down to the flesh. Nothing. You can't win. That brings to me, as an individual whom I hear the voice of the Most High Yah within me, to a level of seeing how critical living is with the life that we have received. Solomon was doing all fine. Solomon didn't have no problem until he come to know what Sister Deborah know today. Because the Most High Yah revealed it to me. When Solomon knew that, Solomon began to say everything is vain and vexed. I mean, I was like, wait a minute, Solomon, wait a minute, hold up, bro, where you going? He said, Deborah, that's it. There's nothing new under the sun. All of it is vain and vexed. What do he mean? Do y'all know what he mean when he said it is vain and vexed and vexation? Do you really know what that means? He's saying it's worthless. That's what I'm coming to the conclusion of. Even the battle cannot be won. It's worthless. Let me break that down. It's worthless if I would say that I would go, let's say if I go down to the city in the noon hour and I began to minister to the people. I'm where Solomon is at today, y'all. It's vain and vexed. Because you're ministering to the flesh. You don't see, Deborah, that behind that flesh that you're ministering, there is a war. While you're ministering, there's a war. Because you're thinking you ministering to 6 or 7 people out there, because they standing there, they looking attentively, and they're paying attention to you, and they clapping, and they praising the Most High Yah. So you really think that you're getting to them in any shape, form, or fashion of the spirit realm. It's vain and vexed. Because the war is an unseen war. It's not a war that we think that we can defeat with what we have. That it goes right back to how important it is to make sure you know who you are in Yah. When you going out or when you anywhere, you better make sure that the Most High is in you, dealing with you, living in you, teaching you, speaking through you. Because when you take yourself out there to that city and start talking to them 6 people, you're talking to them face to face. You have no idea that the war that's behind them, which is the war of their spirit. This is the reason why so many churches is on the corner. So many Catholic churches in your community that's standing up nice, tall, and pretty like it just been built and been there 100 years. It is protected by the unseen war. It is protected by the unseen war. And the war is likened to dark and light, warring against each other. Good and evil, warring against each other. Serpent seed and the spiritual seed, warring against each other. Born of the flesh and born of the spirit, warring against each other. Then here it comes, speaking to you about one can't stand the other. One is always battling with the other. Because we as human beings reject the fact that the reality is there is a war that is behind us. It's not in the front of us, it's behind us. When I say behind us, I can't say behind it because it is within. We got to know which side are we on. Within. That's scary. This is why he speak of the fruit of the Spirit and the works of the Spirit and trying things by that. You see, it's because everything, it's the war, it's not for you to see it. It's unseen. And you can see what it stands for and what it represents on the outside in the flesh, but you can't see the full battle. You cannot see the full battle that's actually taking place today. I'm sitting here saying, this is the reason why things are so chaotic today. It's because we're watching the spiritual battle use the flesh to battle on the outside, while it hides on the inside and battle the spirit. And if individuals don't know that the real battle is in the spirit, they can get detached to the ones that's battling in the dark. This is why people are trying to figure out, why is it people are taking each other out? Why is hardened hearts so against one another? That's the battle. That's the real battle, y'all. And that's the battle the Most High Yah is going to measure. Because the flesh going to be in the ground. It's going back to the dirt. It can't go into the paradise of sleep. That's deep to me. It cannot go into the paradise of sleep. Only the spirit goes to the paradise of sleep. And then when the time comes for judgment, the spirit is awakened to stand before the judgment seat. And you know what, you guys? It makes so much sense why the spirit has to pay the penalty. Because it played a role in the flesh doing what it was doing. Because it came down as the serpent seed. It came down as born to do the ways of the flesh. And the flesh is here to help the spirit do the ways of its flesh. And they battle. So when he said in Matthew chapter 24 and 25 about how and they shall kill you and think that they have done something right. See, on the outside, they think they're doing something right. On their spirit, that's where the battle and the war really is. So they're going to get away in the spirit with doing all evil and wicked. in the flesh. Because the true battle, you guys, is not in the flesh. It's hiding out in the spirit. And then I just think about Yeshua and how he was telling us all the time. This is why the sword came to divide and separate. He was coming with the sword to separate it from the spirit realm, so that those that are born of a spirit don't join in with those that are born of the flesh. So he come to fulfill it, to separate it. He's fulfilling it because in Genesis, Yah brought the sword and divide the serpent seed from the spiritual seed. And the war is going on right as I speak. And we're trying to figure out why is things the way that it is, and why are people the way that they are? Why do they think the way that they think? Why is it they can't see wrong? Why they can't see when, how is you going to kill your mama and not know that you killed your mama? And then cooking her in the pot. You see? You see how powerful the war behind the flesh, which is the spirit? It's a spiritual war going on. That's who's doing all the crime, you guys. That's who's doing all these things that's on the earth. It's the spiritual war. It's a spiritual war. And we are actually thinking, when we see things actually happening, the reason why individuals have done the things they've done and continue to do things, and they don't have a feeling in them. Why? Because it's a spiritual war. The spirit is not going to feel nothing. It's warned against the spiritual individuals. They warn in the spirit. He that is born of the flesh, he's warring with he that is born of the spirit in the spirit realm. And we can't get anywhere. And I'm like saying, wait a minute, something going on. And it might matches why I keep feeling that every time I try to, when I move forward, it's like I go 5 steps backwards. And that's another thing I have put before the Father. What's the problem? What is it that when I feel I should be moving a step forward, why do I fall 5 steps backwards? It doesn't make any sense. Maybe because he wants me where I'm at, not forward. So if I just stay where I'm at, then I don't have to worry about falling backwards 5 steps. So I have to be content where I'm at, not looking at the fact that, okay, now I can move on, and do what I got to do here. But it's like he say, bam. And I'm like, wait a minute, something going on here. Something just don't right. It's not right. And you know what, you guys? It's the battle in the spirit. That's what it is. It is a real battle going on beyond the battle in the flesh. What that leads me to believe is that I have to embrace my 6 children where they're at. I have to embrace them where they're at. I can't take them where I'm going. I can't drag them to the light. I can't plead with them to come go with me to the light. Because the battle is in the spirit. And I cannot get victory nor win their spirit over. I can't, because heaven has assigned it already in the war, in the fight. That's why he come to bring the division. is to separate the spiritual seed from the fleshly seed. And it doesn't matter if it's mama. It doesn't matter if it's daddy. It doesn't matter if it's sister. It doesn't matter if it's brother. It doesn't matter if it's best friend. It doesn't matter if it's your children, if it's your baby, your husband, your wife. It does grandma, grandpa. Yeshua came up to fulfill what Yah said in Genesis 3 and 15. I'm putting a division, Deborah, there. Why? Because it's a war, Deborah, in the spirit that needs to be separated. Because it's going to separate itself. Because it knows that there's a war going on. And we as individuals, we can't separate it. Because we thinking that we got it going on, making it right. And the truth of the matter, you can't win in that type of battle. You can't win in the spiritual battle. You can't. Now y'all can get the victory, but you can't. How you gonna fight the spirit realm? How you gonna do it? You gonna throw up your hands like this and say, I'm gonna fight this thing? How you gonna fight it in the spirit realm? You see why I say it's no battle? It's no win in the battle? Because you can't even fight it. You can't even fight it. It's whooping your tail. And you don't even know it. So I'm like saying, so when you're saying put on the whole armor, I'm full understanding. I already knew that was all spiritual. And you saying put it on. You can't put it on with me not in you. The armor, the breastplate, the helmet of salvation, all that is spiritual, Deborah. That's not something you can put on. And that I already knew. I even spoke on that. But now, knowing that the battle is for real in the spirit and not in the natural. So let's say, for instance, you driving along, you have an accident. Someone ran in the back of you, and you're on the highway. Right there, you seeing this person getting upset because he hit you. Wait a minute, you ran into me in the back. Well, you should have got out the way. That's an example of what this one guy said to this Oriental man couple, a male and a female wife and husband, and they were so afraid. They thought they had did something. And I had to tell them, baby, you didn't do nothing. I saw it all. They were just sitting there, and the wife was just crying, and they couldn't have been no more than 23, 24 years old. And this brother, he was going like 100 miles, zipping in and out, zipping in, and he hit that corner and slid that car all around right in front of me and went into the ditch. So I went to get the brother out of the car because his car was smoking in the inside and on the outside. And I'm pleading with him to get out. He said, I'm just so upset. I said, I know you are. Just get out. Come on, get out on this side. Come on, get out. Okay. He just so upset. And he had to have been like 49, somewhere up in the 50. And I'm begging his brother, come on, get out. Now you're smoking. So he comes on out and he said, but I don't know. I just paid $5,000 to get this car fixed. He sat on that curb. And he said to me something that blew my mind. And I said, at that time, I had to tell him, y'all. I had to say something. I couldn't hold it. That's how I told you I ain't got no sense. He said, watch when the police come. They gonna tell me it was my fault. They gonna tell them it was my fault. And that was their fault because they was in the way. I said, sir, I saw it all. He said, yeah, see, but watch when the police come. They gonna tell the police it was my fault. I said, bro, it was your fault. You was swinging in and out. Oh, he was so hurt that I said, I didn't care. I said, you should be grateful that you're living. Because he ran into the wall. But I said, you was winging out in and out. They weren't. You came from behind them and hit that corner and swung up. Their car spit and went over in here. So how can they get out of the way if you coming down 100 miles an hour, skipping in and out? Just breaking it down to the brother. He said, but watch when the police, it didn't even fade him the first time I told him, but the second time it did. Because he was more so, watch, they tell the police and the police going to believe him. But you feel that you were right? This is war behind individuals. That's why he couldn't see his wrong. Because when there is a spiritual war going on, which it is, and I'm sitting here saying, Father, why are people doing this here? Why are they doing it? Father, they act like they don't see what they're doing. They act like they don't have no feelings, no compassion. They act like they don't care if they bash their women and their women bash their men and they killing their kids, their mama, their sister, their brothers, and the mothers killing their little kids. And I was like, saying like nobody cares. And he, you know what? Guess what, y'all? All this time I've been putting this before the Father. And today, closed every door. Every door. It's all a spiritual war. That's why they won't bend. They won't buckle to what they're doing that is wrong. Because their spirit is an enemy to darkness. And it comes down, born of the flesh, to do the things of darkness. And it's not going to make the flesh think anything right. It's going to make the flesh think wrong. Why? Because it comes down. That spirit of that individual comes down to battle with the light. That's it. They're here to battle. They're here to war. And this is what's going on. A war on every corner. So if I'm on the highway and you hit me from the back, how is it that I done something? Because you hit me from the back. And then tell me you should have got out the way. That's the mindset. So all this time, I'm making these videos saying people don't have no feelings. They don't know this. They don't feel about this. They don't have this. They don't have this. They got their own wisdom, their own knowledge, their own understanding. But what do you expect them to have? If there's a battle between dark and light, the serpent seed and the spiritual seed, a war that's taking place. 24-24. That is what's taking place, you guys. And we're not going to even escape it. We're not going to even get to win in this battle. Not at all. Now, what's going to happen? It's going to be a battle that's going to continue. The unseen battle. And it's not going to cease. It's not going anywhere. And you would think that when we get to Mount Zion, maybe that's it. The battle is over. The battle is still going on. It's a spiritual battle. What's different when we get on Mount Zion? That place is going to be strictly holy. Strictly holy. A spirit take one look at it and can fall dead. That's why they're not going up on it. They ain't gonna come up on it. When Satan, before he get locked up, he's gonna cause something. But when he get locked up and when he get let loose, he already know I got to go and get Magog and all the other nations to come to the battlefield because Yah has ordered it. And you know what we did, y'all? We have gotten with these pastors, these bishops, these priests, these teachers, these Moorings, these seers, these watchmen, these people who've taught the multitude and told them that, I mean, we believe that the Father is going to be warred against them. Remember, I said, how is they going to war against the right hand and the stretched out arm? How are they going to do that? Who going to do that? It was all a lie. That's how low we put the Most High Yah, to the point where he can come down here and fight us. And he created you. What he look like fighting the breath of life he gave you? It doesn't make any sense. But he have already assigned Satan to be chained up for 1,000 years. And then when he's opening back up, Satan already knows that only one mission he has is to bring all the nation to the battlefield of Yah. And that's what he's going to do. And Yah is going to allow it to rain down fire and destroy each and every last one of them. That's how he don't have to war and fight nobody. But while Satan is chained down, what a lot of people don't understand, the spiritual war is still going on. The spiritual war is still yet going on. That's how powerful the spiritual war really is that exists. Why you say that, Deborah? Why are you making us think that there's really a war going on? Because from the heavens level, it was no reason to put 2 trees in the garden. 2 trees in the garden. It was no reason for Cain to battle with Abel and kill him. It was no reason for Adam and Eve to take of the tree of good and evil to die. See, the spiritual war was already set up to start right then and there. Because that's why the 2 trees were there, to represent 2 wars taking place on the earth. And how was it going to get started? It's Adam and Eve take on death, eternal death, the lake of fire. Now the war is on. You see? But what was it? It was orchestrated from heaven, because heaven created the 2 trees, not man, not Satan. But Yah himself said he created 2 trees. Just imagine if he had to put the other tree there. So you see how you have to go back and see where the war really started in the beginning. And it's still going on. And it's unseen, because we're looking only at things that we can see according for us to believe. And that's why this higher power, the elites, are getting away with everything. They get away. And you really think about it, that is something to think about. We sit back watching them rule the whole world on the 4 corners with their darkness and getting away with everything. Everything. That's how they getting away with it. It's because it is a spiritual war that we are not focusing on. We're focusing on Donald Trump and Kamala, whatever her name, and what's his name, Biden. We're focused on the basic things of life, things that has to do with our flesh, things that how we are and what we're supposed to do with our flesh. That's not the war. But why would he tell us we fight not against the flesh, but principality in high places? It's because you mean to tell me all this time the spiritual war has been existing. So that's why Solomon saw everything you allowed him to see under the sun. But then he changed everything into what he saw and thought to say, it's all vanity. It's all vats and vexation. Worthless. Because we're chasing the things that are worthless, while the battle itself is here on the earth. And it is what got all this chaos where it's at. Anybody in the live chat, do you have any questions? You can also ask questions if you have any questions. But to me, that opened, it really closed a lot of doors. So listen to this. I heard these one guy teaching today, and he said the Sabbath was made for what? The Sabbath was made. Watch this here. The Sabbath was made for man, and not man for the Sabbath. That's deep right there. The Sabbath was made for man, but not man for the Sabbath. Because the Sabbath is holy. And it was made for man, but not man for the Sabbath. That right there is a part of the unseen. See, we're thinking, not we, I ain't going to say nothing about like that, but people thinking that the Sabbath is what we keep because it's for us. It's for us because, no, not, yeah, it's for us. And not, wait a minute. We think that this, wait a minute, it says the Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. Man think the Sabbath is for him. I mean, is for him. No, you for the Sabbath. So it's like they're worshiping it, but backwards. You see, because they don't understand. And this going back to what I'm saying, y'all. If there is a war that's around us 24/24, and we're defeating and battling racists and hate and jealousy and envy, all these things. We're battling all these things, but the Spirit is behind us, keeping all of it going. So when you think about the elites that rule the country, that's how they got away with it. Because it's in the spiritual realm, and they know that. They know the war is in the spiritual realm, and they're taking a full advantage of it. While we just trying to make it day by day and just living, not even understanding. We are actually warring against one another in the spirit and have no idea. Wow. Would you say you got chased up out of there? All right. Because it really is, and it's just something that's just going to be with me till I'm in the grave, because that is something to really, that's why we can't defeat nothing, y'all, because there's no winning in the battle. If the war ain't of the flesh, there's no winning in the battle. So the wicked knows that the war is truly in the spirit, and that's how they taking advantage of the people, because the people have no idea that, wait a minute, it's not in the flesh, y'all, it's in the spirit. Racist. It's not in the flesh, y'all. It's in the spirit that's keeping it up. They trying to make somebody less than human so they can appear to be better. And they don't, we thinking it's them thinking they just all that and all that because they white, they right. No, baby, it's deeper than that. It's deeper. It's in the spirit. The spirit is keeping up the races and all this chaos. It's in the spirit that's keeping up chaos, killing and murdering. It's all done in the spirit. So I asked y'all to choke me, and I was choked and went back ready. Oh, okay. And y'all did it. Okay. I can be detected in that war. Yeah, I can detect every move that is made. See, that's what I'm saying. So somewhere along the line, you know that there's a war that at that capacity, that type of war. You know what? That's why many people can't defeat the things they truly don't want to have nothing to do with. It's because there's a war that's going on in the spirit realm. And you know what? I even mentioned about how we might think that, oh, our wife is all that, this, and our husband is all this. If the both wife and husband is not born of the spirit, all that making up and clowning and pretending and acting is vain and vexed. You know why? It makes them two, both the husband and wife is born of the flesh. That's why they get along so well. That's why they get along so well. But if they are born of the spirit, both of them, they're going to get along really well as well. But you have to be both born of the spirit. You see, that's the one he said, equally yoked, equally in the spirit. Those are the marriage that Yah puts together. Marriages that's not equally yoked in the spirit, they are not the marriage that Yah has joined together. So here come Yeshua. Here he comes. Mark has something to say about how he did it. Matthew has something to say about how he did it. Luke has something to say about how he did it. John has something to say about how he did it. And he was coming to show up and inform them that I come to fulfill. And I come with the sword. Nope, I'm not coming to bring peace. Wait a minute, hold up. What's the deal? Deborah, it's a battle on this earth. How I'm gonna come to give them peace in a battle going on in the spirit realm? I'm like, so that's why the sword has to keep he that is born of the spirit on one side and he that is born of the flesh on the other. That's why the sword comes. Yeshua HaMashiach come to bring the sword to separate born of the spirit from the born of the flesh. Why? Because both of them are warned against each other in the spirit, you guys. And we thinking everything, even I don't care where you're at, where you're going. There's a war going on. And it's a spiritual war. And it's defeating any and everything. That's why, remember where it says, Yah enlarging hell? You remember how it tells you the broad gate? Because he already know that the spirits are going in the broad gate. That's the way they know. But they're fighting as we speak. Who are they fighting? He that is born of the spirit. And we sitting around here trying to figure out why people are doing the things that they're doing and saying the things they saying and conducting themselves the way that they conducting themselves. And we trying to figure out, well, where is Yah in here? Where is Yah? He's still the overseer of the war itself. Then when you pull up in Revelation, that's all it's talking about, something that's going on. And you like, wait a minute. Okay, when you go to Revelation chapter 2 and verse 9, it talks about the synagogue of Satan. That's a war, baby. Of the darkness. Look how long they had the power of that land. Because those that are born of the Spirit, it's not fighting them. That's how they got victory over the land. Because the battle is the way Yah has set it up. But everything is in spiritual realm. So even you guys, even the journey up out of here, that got to be a spiritual journey out of here. That's not going to be something flesh. Because even going out, we're going to be what he said, you coming in curse and you're going out curse. So you're not going to escape a lot of things. But just imagine all this wars and rumors of wars and earthquakes in diverse places and famine and pestilence, all that stuff going on. And also, there's a war in the spirit realm. Do you know what that actually means? It's going to be worse than Sister Deborah could ever imagine it. Because he has allowed it to be a day of evil and wicked that they can have their day. And they're going to cut up from the floor. As they doing now. And I keep trying to understand. And I used to say, why ain't nobody saying nothing? Why ain't nobody doing nothing? Why ain't nobody stopping these migrants from coming over here? Why are they whining about the border? Texas, build a wall so they can't come over. New York, build y'all wall. Build something to keep them from coming over. Nobody's done nothing. And guess what? 21 million has already reached over here in less than a year and a half. And that's not including the other ones that came over. But within less than a year and a half, that's a lot of people. But I kept saying, well, why don't somebody stop this? Why don't somebody stop? No. It's a part of the war, y'all. In the spirit realm. This is why Yah has prophesied it all. Because he is spirit. And he prophesied it in the spirit realm to take place in the spirit realm. And it's going to trigger and float all up in the flesh realm. To be clearly seen. My thing is, you all don't know that there is such a high level of wickedness that rules these four corners. A high level of wickedness. Pedophiles, sacrificing children, all kind of sick on top of sick. Just imagine, behind all that is a spiritual battle going on. All in the darkness, they doing all that in the spirit like they're doing it in the flesh. Because that's how they've gotten away with so much in the spiritual realm, to where they done brought it out and made it clearly seen in the flesh. And Sister Deborah seeing this stuff and trying to figure out, well, why ain't nobody do? Why the people can't see it? They can't see it. All this time, I'm telling you all, when I can see it, it's so clear. Remember, I be telling y'all, that's because the battle itself is spiritual. That's why you seeing it. That's why you seeing things, Deborah, because it's a spiritual battle. But I didn't know it. Not until he Drop the bombshell. And I'm thinking, oh, well, maybe it's just y'all let me see it. Maybe I'm just seeing it. No, baby, the battle is for real. And it's spilling all in the realm of the flesh because it feels so good about doing all the taking on all the battle in the spirit realm because ain't nobody catching on to it. No one's seeing what actually is happening. But see, I'm thinking I'm seeing it. Every time I make a video, I'm telling everybody, yeah, I'm seeing this clear. Why ain't everybody else seeing this? See, I didn't look at it like he dropped the bombshell. But I'm knowing I'm seeing it, and I'm like, well, why ain't nobody else seeing it? Well, maybe something wrong with me, you know. Then he comes up and tell me, "No, Deborah, it's a real war going on. It's in the spiritual realm," and he had to include my own children. He add on give and gave. He did all of that. He did all of it when he dropped the bombshell. He said, because everything is in the spirit realm, Deborah. Right here on the earth, y'all. It's in the spirit realm. And what we see people doing and how bad it is, a lady like, it's two of them done it in the last month. Who chops their mother up, leave her torso, one left her torso on the grill, one left the torso in the backyard, but both of them in the kitchen cooking the mama in a pot. One on the grill and one in a pot. What could be actually? And see, I don't know if it's there where you all are at, but here they got this here cannabis, and the face is like an alien, alien. And what's that plane Obama and them used to take? My ex-husband said, why would they name that place the name after the plane that they take that exists among the presidents? Why would they name that place? Give that number like that? Because see, if the battle is in the spirit, then those that is at that high level of darkness are fully aware of both realms. Let me tell you why. That's where they're getting their strength. That's where they're getting their strength. That's why it's a lot of drinking blood, child sex, a sacrifice, all of those things. That's where they're getting their strength. And that's where they're also defeating all ways that they have all this time, y'all. I'm gonna tell you something. I sit back and I think. I say, how can you make it if they're taking money out of your check 4 different ways? Medicare, Social Security, state, federal, health insurance. They taking everything out of your check before you get it. Mm-hmm. And when you really look at it, local tax. When you really look at it, there's no righteous in that job. There's no righteous at all. But how did they steal the whole United States with that? How did the people in this country say that they, good old America, we the United States of America, with their flags and everything? How could they be so stupid? Because the darkness is warred in the spiritual realm more so than in the flesh. That's where they're getting their victory. That's why nobody in the flesh complain, because they winning it in the spirit realm and conquering it in the flesh. What would make people support their son if he's doing wrong, evil, murder, but yet that's my baby, leave him alone? You see what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, these things goes way beyond the natural. So there would have to be a battle going on in the spirit realm. It had to. And it's in every situation. In every situation. And what reason why I said the bombshell is because the way he dropped it in unto me, it did, y'all. It brought so much sunshine in me. It really did. But at first, I said, wait a minute. I'm going to cry. I just got to cry. I just can't do this. I want to cry. He said, what did I tell you about your crying? I told you they are like icicles. That's going back to what I'm saying. Your crying is detached to your emotions and your feelings. That's on your flesh side, Deborah. I'm showing you the things, and I've opened so you can see the things in the spirit. Don't use your tears to keep you from seeing what I'm taking this moment to show you. But I say, I feel like I'm set free. I feel like a sunshine, but I still feel so. He said, that's your flesh. Because I'm like, in my mind, my fleshly mind, I'm like, how are people going to defeat this? You're not going to. Only one can defeat it is the Most High God. So you see how if you don't have him, if you really don't have him, how are you going to fight the battle in the spirit realm? The war itself. We can't win the battle, y'all. I know we think we can. We can't even win anything that we go after to defeat. Look at the people who killed these last 2 or 3 young men, hanging them from a tree. Nobody says nothing. You don't see no nation of people coming together saying no more. You don't hear no FBI. You don't hear nobody doing no study. Nobody doing no. The Father said, Deborah, pull it on up. It's in the spirit realm. Everything is being done in the spirit realm. And that's where they're getting away with it. It's in the spirit realm. Where the real war is, the real battle. And that's why in the flesh realm, you can't win the battle. Now, these 3 truckers didn't die, and don't nobody in this whole United States give a rat's behind. 3 people, truck drivers, young, and nobody cares. This is a war, y'all. Look how they came. Look how they gone. And just imagine dying like that. 1 minute you here, next minute you gone, and don't nobody give a rest behind. You see what I'm saying? Because he had to deal with me with minds. And he was saying, now, just think, if I send the son, the Yeshua HaMashiach down, and he had to come not to bring peace, but bring the division, it's because I had to separate the war. because I didn't want those that's on the dark side to think they're going to take over those that's on the light. So the sword, which is Yeshua HaMashiach, come to bring the division. And the division is sealed, y'all. It's sealed. It is sealed. That's why Yeshua stepped in. Let me show you what I mean. Let me go there. I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. So you see this and you're seeing like, so Mark, Luke, John, and Matthew is saying this, but I say, I kind of get this thing. I kind of get it. Now listen to this. In Matthew chapter 10, verse 33. But whosoever shall deny me before men, him will I also deny before my Father which is in heaven. Think not that I come. No, it doesn't say that. It says, think not that I am come to send peace on the earth. I come not to send peace, but a sword. I come not, listen to this. It don't even make any sense. It don't even make any sense. Listen to this. Verse 34. Think not that I am come to send. How are you coming and sending at the same time? Wait a minute, hold up. What's going on? Somebody is letting you know what I'm sending to come. You see? Because listen to what it says. 34. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. Come and send peace on earth. I come not to send peace, but a sword. He's sending something. And he coming. Because he's sending the right hand and the stretched out arm. That's what's one. That's Christ. But the Father is sending him to bring that division in the war that we cannot see. Nor can we get victory. We can't win it because we are flesh. We are human. And the war is spiritual. That's why it's important to have the Holy Spirit living in you, you guys. It is so important to have the Holy Spirit living in you. Because that's for a sure way of knowing that I got this here. Because greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. Because the world has more on their side in the battle. But by him being the greatest, he can defeat those that have more on their side or on their side. He that is greater in thee is greater than anything in the world. So he letting you know, I don't care what going on, the spiritual battle, I got this. I got this. Check. Know that you know that he's all that he said he is. Not only did he sin, he said he sent a sword on the earth. And I am come. Letting you know I'm not playing. I come to separate the two that's on the earth. So that, and he separated them in the spirit, y'all. So when you get into a situation, say for instance you, and it's your husband, it's you, and you got a son, a daughter, and you got 2 grandchildren. In the spirit realm, guess what, baby? Everything been separated already. And when Sister Deborah tell you, look at yourself in the mirror, all that stuff I was saying, I'm thinking about that now. That's actually telling you, see yourself in the spirit realm. So you'll know where you stand. And once you know who you stand, when he said, get that mock out of your own eye, and then that means that once you have judged yourself daily, you see who you stand in the spiritual realm, then you can be able to discern who's who and what's what in the battle. But you won't win it. You won't win it in the flesh, y'all. We won't win it. It only can be won in the spirit. So why, someone like me can be saying, oh, but save them, sanctify them, fill them with the Holy Ghost. You have to trust him with what he already sealed, what he already placed where he wanted to be, or where it is in the war itself. And you hear where it says, and I mentioned it in the video, where he says, I tell you the truth and you hate me. You hate me because I tell you the truth. Let me say that again. You hate me because I tell you the truth. There go two wars. Hate is in the middle. Like in Genesis 3:15, intimacy. Hate is in the middle. You hate Israel because they tell you the truth. The one that's the truth is the light. The one that's hating because of truth is the serpent seed. And you heard that also in time past, where I think it's only in there about a couple of times where an individual told another that was wanting to delete them that because I told you the truth, you hate me. And a lot of people don't know that is 100. That is 100 truth. People will hate you because you tell the truth. How do you think all them disciples got killed? You think all the prophets y'all son down? Why did they get killed? Because they told the truth. So that's one of the biggest battles on the earth, is between truth and the lie. That's connected. That's all connected. So we actually need to really focus on, in this day and time, a relationship with the Most High Yah. That's it. Can't nothing else is not worth. Ain't nothing else worth anything outside of a relationship with the Most High Yah. Because there is a serious war going on. So now I have to really be looking in a way at every situation. And you know what else it's going to cause me to do? Is not to commune with people like I used to. I mean, everywhere I go, remember I told y'all I talk to people and people talk, because what's this? You can't win in the battle. The spiritual war is going on. So you can sit and you can go out here and many people listen, and you sitting here talking and they listen to you and say, well, they want to know where you come from. What church you go to? Can I visit it? What's the address? Who is the pastor? This is the question they would ask you when you start speaking. But if there are those who asking me this, are they asking me this because they are of the serpent seed, or are they asking me this because they are the spiritual seed? Then this is where we put on the armor. And we don't put it on because we can go in the closet or run in the car and open up, pop the trunk and put on the whole armor. No, it's already on you. You put it on here. That's why he said, be quick to hear and slow to speak. Because these different voices is in when people are speaking. And if you have an ear to hear, which I don't know where I do know it had to be a spiritual thing that y'all gave me, but you can hear behind here. And then he said, try the spirit. That's why he never said try the flesh by the flesh. He said, try the spirit by the spirit. Then he poured up on me and said, well, what happened to that gift of discerning? The gift of discerning is what you discern spirit. Did y'all know that? The gift of discerning is to discern spirit, whether it's good or whether it's evil. Did y'all know that? So there it is again. The spirits are spirits. So the gift of discerning is for spiritual discerning. When he's saying try the spirit by the spirit, that's spiritual because the war is really spiritual. It's not natural. There's no battle in the natural to defeat or to win. It's all done in the spirit. And this is why people can't seem to stop addictions and stop drinking and drugging and porno and lusting and abomination and all these things. Why? Because they are bound in the spirit. They are already bound in the spirit. And if you get someone who is bound, the enemy have gotten them detached to these addictions. Now, if they are born of the spirit, they're going to get victory out of it. They're going to get the victory out of it. Have you heard somebody say, when I was smoking crack and I woke up the next morning and it was, I never smoked again. That's the spiritual ones that gets the victory in the battle, in the war. And they actually can't even teach anyone anything. Why? Because when they woke up after being on crack 20 years, they wake up one day and all of a sudden they stop. You see? That's showing you how the war itself that is continuing. And even if you get caught up in something, y'all gonna pull you out. Because if you are born of the spirit, you're gonna come out. Those are the ones that comes out. So when you hear a lot of Judith men hating on their women for all these unseen reasons, you go back to Isaiah chapter 3 and what? 25. They have every reason to be hating on their women. Because when you can't see the war between darkness and light, between the serpent seed and the spiritual seed, from now on, that's on you. This is what we're seeing. And we're trying to find a way that how we can unite, how we can stop this, how we can come together. And the Father said, I tell you what, I'm not coming to bring another sword to divide nothing. It's finished. It is over. Because it's not going to be defeated like we thinking we can defeat it. We can't, like I'm saying, what's his name? 19 Keys. Man got a good head on it. Oh, he got a real good head on it. He really do. And he got a good mindset. But what happened? If the bro don't see the war in the spirit, and you can tell that he knows that something seems like it's just, why is we doing these things? Why can't we do that? And he be battling with himself, trying to figure out why. And what later on, guess what? He gonna throw up his hand. Because guess what? The battle cannot be won. Because we're fighting fleshly battles that's taking place in the spirit realm. In the spirit realm. United States of America has sold this country to whom it is entitled to. It ain't worth a dime, no way. Too much evil and darkness and wickedness taking place. So no matter who they sold it to, it ain't like they got nothing but a bunch of wicked and evil and darkness. And I'm going to tell y'all, what Sister Deborah is seeing is off the chain. I'm seeing the Europeans pull up with the prophecies of the United States being in a situation that they're in because of all the wicked and evil they have done. But the only part that throws them off the map, With me, somebody like me who knows, I give them the credit for what they start off saying, but it's what they end up saying that causes me to say, no, they're not the ones. Because they'll start off and then they'll end back to the United States. It's going to get better. And they're going to do this and they're going to do this and they're going to do this. Because this one guy, elderly man, he was talking about everything in Revelation, how y'all going to bring this country down. But then he go back and say, but if we do this, if we do this, if we do this, if we do this, because we did wrong in slavery, we did wrong with the Indians. He just went all the way back. But then he come back and still give the United States some glory. And I'm like saying, see there? See there? And United States is who they are. They're going to be who they are. And it's a war within a war. And they're not, the part that gets me is Revelation 18. It tells them who they are. It's okay, just like Revelation chapter 2 and verse 9, Revelation chapter 3 and verse 9, telling you who the Jews that over there saying they Jews. Just as plain as day. Now, okay, let me show y'all that. You know, in Revelation, it's telling you that they are the synagogue of Satan. Why is it the word don't say nothing? Because it's a war going on, y'all. It's in the spirit. They're in the spirit war to keep things going the way that they have had it going. That's how. It's in the spirit. Because think, how are you all using the same so-called Bible, and it told them that they are the synagogue of Satan twice, and it tells you that Israel and Judah is not Europeans? So how is the world, y'all don't see that war? How is the whole world believing that lie? Think, y'all. It don't make sense. It don't make sense. Why? Because the Father is saying the war, it's in an unseen realm, Deborah. And because it really believes it's getting all the victory and all the glory, because the war is a battle in itself. And we on here getting the leftover of it. And we embracing it. No one saying anything, no one doing anything, because it's a war that we can't defeat. We can't get victory. We can't win. And that's the way y'all orchestrated it. That's the way he orchestrated it. That's why it's so important that we as individuals really know who we are in Yah. And I thought about over in my other page how many times I've said that over and over and over. We need to know who we are. We need to look in the mirror and say, wait a minute, who am I? You see? Because the battle is unseen. And you might not even see yourself to be what you really are. Yes, because the battle is one that you can't win in the flesh. And that means that if there's a war in the spirit, and your spirit is not allowing your flesh, or is allowing your flesh to think it's okay and that it's nothing really going on, it's just, we good and it's okay, you don't need this, and that's where the war is. The manipulation of the spirit is deceiving the people by mass. So I, Sister Deborah, say unto you that I will be back. James gave me that name, you guys. He said, what about peace in the wilderness with Ahia? And I said, that's good. I like that. So I had prophetess in the wilderness. So when he said peace, I thought that was really good because round about now, we can use that. We can use that with a higher. Uh, uh, I will be back um, again, and I hope you all got something out of this message. It's and so when you in any type of situation, watch how you come back. Oh, you can't hear me, can you? Now, you know what? I'm going to tell you something, and I'm not saying this to frighten you. If you really took to what I said about the battle, the true war of chaos and darkness is in the spirit realm. Everything that you run upon, everything you think, everything you're going to feel, you're going to start detaching it. And it's all going to make sense to you. It really going to make sense to you. So I, Sister Deborah, appreciate each and every last one of you all in the live chat. And I will be back. Um, and you all have a blessed evening. Shalom and shalom.